Have you ever met someone who seemed to understand you almost immediately? They shared your interests, knew what you loved, and said exactly what you needed to hear. The connection felt effortless, almost too perfect. Then, a few weeks or months later, everything changed. And you started wondering, did this person genuinely understand me, or did my social media profile teach them how to impress me? Recently, I realized that several people who eventually hurt me had followed me online before becoming part of my real life. When we officially met, they were not meeting me without context. They had already seen my routines, interests, favorite places, values, and the type of relationships I wanted. They may have even understood some of my emotional needs. Without realizing it, I had given them a map showing them how to connect with me. That does not mean everyone who follows us has harmful intentions. Many people genuinely connect with what we share. But social media can create the feeling of intimacy before genuine intimacy has been built. Sometimes, people become attached to the version of us they have created in their minds. That version may always appear confident, happy, interesting, and emotionally available. But eventually, the real person appears. The real person has difficult days. The real person has fears, needs, and boundaries. The real person can become sad, overwhelmed, or unavailable. When that happens, their admiration may suddenly change because we no longer fit the fantasy they created. That change can be deeply painful. You may begin questioning whether the connection was ever genuine, or whether they simply learned how to present themselves as everything you wanted. But their inability to accept the complete version of you does not mean that you deceived them. You did not betray their image of you by becoming vulnerable. You simply stopped fitting inside a fantasy you never agreed to maintain. Now I try to ask myself, did this person genuinely discover who I am, or did they arrive already knowing how to impress me? Were they truly curious about my inner world, or mostly fascinated by the life I appeared to have? Did their actions remain consistent after I expressed a need or established a boundary? And did the relationship develop naturally, or did it feel unusually perfect, unusually quickly? Because someone's response to your boundaries can reveal more than everything they said while trying to gain your trust. I am learning that taking responsibility does not mean blaming myself for another person's dishonesty. I can reconsider the access I gave them. I can acknowledge the warning signs I overlooked and decide to protect myself differently in the future. But trusting someone does not make me responsible for their decision to deceive me. Their actions belong to them. My responsibility is to learn without turning that lesson into self-punishment. The lesson is not to disappear from social media or become suspicious of everyone. It is simply to remember that visibility is not intimacy, attention is not care, and familiarity is not trust. Someone having access to your life does not automatically mean they have earned access to you. Real connection is not proven by how well someone understands your profile. It is proven by how safely, consistently, and respectfully they treat the real person behind it.